any new supply that is coming onto the market, given that we are dealing with a real evolution in terms of office and retail in particular, and even industrial, given the impacts of COVID and the uncertainty moving forward. There is shifting mindsets around, will offices be working from home predominantly? What will the new typical office look like? How much has COVID pushed society towards online shopping, and will it replace many of the segments in the retail industry? All those questions are there's no line of sight towards them yet, and so the challenges for developers and for real estate owners is going to be to monitor those impacts and ensure that we're in a position to pivot and respond to how tenants are going to position themselves moving forward.
Well, COVID cases continuing to increase to the point where consumer confidence is impaired, and that's a risk. We saw this in March and April. However, some of our tenants reported that the summer was very good in terms of sales. But if folks are afraid to go up and construction and consumption dries up, the economy is going to be adversely affected. As well, if fiscal stimulus allocated to government programs like SERVE and CERCLA, then some tenants won't survive. But really, the demand for real estate is still jobs. It's linked to jobs, and being the demand driver for all real estate activities, we don't see that slowing down to a great extent in comparison to other markets in our peer group. We do see that there'll be less job creation as a major risk, but inevitably that's the same for all markets.
I'll start with the risks first. Clearly, in my mind, the most significant risks are a further erosion in the economy. When people lose their jobs and unemployment rise, whether you're in apartments, office buildings, or retail shopping centers, I believe that the biggest risk is unemployment and continued deterioration of the economy. The other risk that obviously comes with that is on the supply side. In the multifamily sector, there is construction in Winnipeg. We've had some office built in recent years. Our absorption has been very strong. I think we also have to manage the risks in the new supply as we move forward. The opportunity, the biggest one for sure, is simply that there are going to be some probably long-standing portfolios or new buildings that are being built. If you are well capitalized over the next short term, I believe and we at P3 believe the biggest opportunity is simply going to be on the buy side. Pricing probably maintains itself and is quite strong, but quite frankly, the opportunity is that there's going to be product. Our biggest issue in Winnipeg on the investment acquisition side of existing buildings, whether long-standing or recently developed, is we just don't have the supply side that the capital would like to see. So I think there's going to be more supply. And the opportunity will also be there to reposition buildings. It continues to be a lot of old real estate across Canada. Winnipeg is no different. I've long advocated that I think our market is under-demolished, not overbuilt. And so there will be some opportunity on the redevelopment side, working with existing assets to reposition them. And maybe one final tie-in on the risk side then becomes the availability of sub-trades and people to do the work. So, there's some labor shortages across Canada. Hopefully those gaps can be filled in, but I think it's pretty balanced on both the opportunity and the risk side of the business here in Winnipeg.